Hello, I'm Caede. It's nice to see the great Buddha standing in front of a natural background. You can enjoy a different scene from season to season. First, I'd like to tell you more about the material from which the great Buddha is made of. This great Buddha of Hase is made of a mixture of copper, lead, and tin. What's more, they actually used coins of the time as a source of material. Wow, money! Nowadays, it is forbidden to use money to create anything, but it looks like it was no problem in the old days. In Japan, around the 13th century, when the great Buddha was made, money was not yet being manufactured. But little by little, they were moving away from using raw materials like silk and rice as money to using copper coins that were made in China. It is said that the great Buddha was made by melting down the copper coins that were in circulation as money. Modern research has revealed that the composition of the great Buddha is indeed similar to that of Chinese copper coins of the time. It's amazing! When I look at big old buildings, I always wonder how much money they cost at the time. But the great Buddha was actually made with the money of the time itself. One copper coin weighs 4 grams, and the statue of the great Buddha weighs 121 tons. This means that if it were made entirely of copper coins, it would require more than 3 million coins. I'm sure you were wondering how much these 3 million pieces of money were worth in those days. It is not clear how much rice and other goods could be bought with copper coins at the time. The great Buddha is said to weigh 121 tons, but do you know how it was actually weighed? The big Buddha underwent conservation and repair work about 60 years ago to make it more earthquake resistant. For the repair work, they had to lift the statue once, and that's when they weighed it. The great Buddha is made of bronze, but the inside of the statue is hollow, so it's lighter than it looks. Even so, it weighs as much as 1,500 people weighing 80 kilograms. That's rather heavy. Let's go around the great Buddha clockwise while looking at him and make our way to the backside. When you pass by, don't forget to look at the right side of the Buddha's cheek, because you can still see a little bit of gold paint left on it. Behind the great Buddha, there are 4 green metal plates, right? These are called renben, which are shaped like the petals of a lotus flower. Lotus flowers grow in dirty mud and bloom beautifully, so they are considered to be the most suitable flowers to symbolize the road to the Buddhist ideal of the Pure Land. That's also why the great Buddha sits on a lotus flower and why lotus flowers are arranged around the great Buddha. There are only 4 lotus petals, but when they were restoring the pedestal in the 18th century, they actually intended to make 32 of them to form a lotus platform. If you look closely at these lotus petals, you can see that people's names are engraved on them. These are the names of the supporters when they made the lotus petals. The restoration was made possible by donations, as well as the construction of the great Buddha, which means that the great Buddha of Kamakura has always been loved by many people. If you look at the back of the great Buddha, you can see 2 windows, right? The inside of the Buddha is open to the public, so the windows are open to let in the light for visitors. Nowadays, the entrance is supervised, but in the past, The inside of the Great Buddha used to be a place for secret meetings between lovers, and homeless people used to live there. I guess the big Buddha has sheltered a lot of people. The entrance to the inside is just around the corner. In the building next to the Great Buddha, you will see a large pair of straw sandals, old Japanese shoes made of straw. In the old days, Japanese people used to wear these straw sandals instead of the shoes we wear today. So the Great Buddha also has straw sandals. The Great Buddha is a large man, so the sandals he wears are also large. They are 1.8 meters long, 0.9 meters wide, and each one weighs 45 kilograms. These large straw sandals are donated every 3 years by children from Ibaraki Prefecture, northeast of Tokyo. The first donation happened in 1951, just after the war. But the Great Buddha is supposed to sit and not walk, so why did they donate sandals? There are several theories, and the first theory is that the Buddha was barefoot, so the people felt sorry for him in the cold winter and then decided to give him footwear. You can see how people care for the Great Buddha. The second theory. They hoped that Buddha would wear these straw sandals and travel all over the country to make people happy. Both the Great Buddha of Nara and the Great Buddha of Kamakura are seated, so it's hard to imagine the Great Buddha walking. The statue of the seated Great Buddha of Kamakura is 11 meters tall. The average height of a Japanese man is about 170 centimeters, with a sitting height of about 90 centimeters. Based on this ratio, the Great Buddha would be about 20 meters tall when standing. If the Great Buddha walked at the same pace as a regular person, it would be able to walk at a speed of more than 40 kilometers per hour, judging from the magnification of human size. It would only take him 1 hour to get to Tokyo on foot. That's the same speed as a train, so if you walk at this speed, you can go all over the country in no time at all. However, it seems that no one has ever seen the Great Buddha on foot yet. Look around the area near the big Buddha. You see some big stones, right? Some people are sitting on them like a bench, but they are not really a bench. Actually, these are the foundation stones on which the Great Buddha Hall was built. Originally, there were 60 of them, but now only 56 are still in the temple grounds. If you follow the stones, you can imagine the size of the lost Great Buddha Hall. The building that housed the Great Buddha was washed away by a tsunami at the end of the 15th century, and it was never rebuilt. However, while it would have been nice to see the Great Buddha under the roof, it's also nice to see him under the sky like this. Although the Great Buddha is a magnificent statue, there are still many things that we don't know about it because there are no documents left about who built it and for what purpose. But who knows, in the future, there may be a great discovery. We don't often see a Great Buddha blending into nature, but here you can enjoy natural scenery and the 4 seasons with Buddha. So I love this place. Go ahead and take pictures of the Great Buddha from below or from the side, or find another great spot to take pictures. See you soon!